Hi, I'm Jim White. I'm the viticulturist here at CloudyBay, surrounded by some of our famous Sauvignon Blanc vines here in the vineyards in Marlborough. And for CloudyBay, this is our 33rd vintage. We started making wine here in New Zealand in 1985, and obviously Sauvignon Blanc has become the signature grape variety for New Zealand, and very much part of very much what CloudyBay helped New Zealand, and I guess we're the most famous wine brand now, not only in Japan but from New Zealand, but all around the world. This is a blend of Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, 65% Chardonnay, 35% Pinot Noir. Made using the method traditional method. So we blend our base wines and put them into bottle, and then age those wines on lees for 18 months to 2 years in the cellars before we disgorge them and release them. Dosage is around 6 to 7 grams of residual sugar, so the wine's quite dry, still with quite fresh acidity. And we're really looking for sort of lovely fresh citrus notes that we get from Chardonnay. Has some beautiful acidity, but Pinot Noir's there. Also, there's a little bit of like a light strawberry note, raspberry note, and Pinot Noir helps add structure to the wine, so it gives it some sort of weight and richness as well. Sort of that beautiful balance. It's lovely, lovely and fresh, but still with enough weight and seriousness to be really enjoyed with food. And now it's been released for 6 months. It's starting to look lime and citrus and some sort of white nectarine characteristics, some sort of green tree fruits like guava and sort of green plum, green apple. Really, really looking good. Beautiful freshness on the palate. Really gets the mouth watering well. So mostly fermented in stainless steel tanks. We do a small proportion, 5 to 8%, that we ferment in oak barrels or in some big oak cubes, which are like big oak tanks, which help build a little bit of texture in the wine. But Sauvignon's very much about capturing the flavours of the vineyard and getting them into bottle. Our grapes for Takoko are grown in the same areas as our Sauvignon, but we have 4 of our oldest parcels of vineyard that we hand harvest and bring here to the winery. We whole bunch press, and then the juice just goes straight into oak barrels that and then we just leave the juice to ferment naturally. So with the indigenous yeast that are in the barrels in the winery on the grapes. It spends 18 months in oak barrels. It's only a very small percentage of new oak. It's mostly old, and it's not a wine that you want to see a lot of oaky, smoky characteristic in. But the wild yeast fermentation, the time in barrel, just take away some of that aromatics and add some sort of complexity and layers and textures to this wine that makes it quite different to our standard Sauvignon. It's a wine that we love to make here because you have quite a large influence in the winery. The grapes are grown on a number of our company vineyards, and they're quite low yielding, so we get quite concentrated fruit, but because we get the cool nights here during the ripening, we retain beautiful acidity. So we're hand harvesting these grapes, fermentation in barrel, in barriques, only a small percentage of new oak, around 18 to 20% new oak, so we're not looking for a wine that's overly oaky. We're only using malolactic fermentation to soften the acidity when we need to, and this wine doesn't have a lot of malolactic fermentation, I think probably around 50%, just soften the acids. But we're looking for beautiful fresh sort of stone fruit and grapefruit citrus characteristics. And then you're starting to see some of that spicy, little bit of oak characteristic coming and building the wine as well. So we've seen real progression with Pinot Noir at CloudyBay over the last sort of 5 or 8 years as our vineyards have aged, and we're now seeing wines of much more sort of serious depth and structure from our clay soil vineyards out in the southern valleys. And this is a great example. I'm sort of into that. There's still some reds, but they're quite dark red fruits, like ripe cherry and plum. Still a little bit of sort of almost cranberry or raspberry fruit there as well, and a little bit of floral perfume, some violets maybe. And then we get a beautiful sort of spicy characteristics, some sort of nutmeg and cinnamon. And on the palates, it's got a beautiful match of those quite, powerful fruit, that lovely silky tannin. And I think in Marlborough we have this beautiful interplay between sort of acidity and tannin, and the end of this wine leaves you with this lovely sweet fruit. There's some sort of savoury notes, spicy notes, and this sort of vibrant tannin, which we really like, and I think ultimately will provide this wine some great ageability as well. In Central Otago, we're a long way. Vineyards are a long way from the ocean, about 150 kilometres, and so they get a lot more warm days, they get a lot more cool nights, and we typically get wines, Pinot Noir, of more structure and power in Central Otago. And I think you can see here, this wine is still very dark, very powerful wine, but still with beautiful, soft, almost velvety tannins that flow through the palate. Well, it's great. I'll be coming back to Japan. It's a country I love. Been to visit many times, and being able to come and show people our wines from CloudyBay. And for me, one of the most exciting things about coming to Japan I guess the CloudyBay wines being so light and vibrant and fresh really match to me ultimately with the various different cuisines that I've had the opportunity to taste, not only in Tokyo but all over Japan, and it's something I always look forward to. Particularly for me, fresh seafood and Sauvignon is a fantastic match, and there couldn't be a better place in the world to do it than in Japan.